So internally, I'm saying Jai to that. I got this product. I got a promotion. I got this. I got that. So, and because this is one of the verses I have to speak on, so I'm speaking on this Jai. Right? So it's so important actually to really glorify a devotee, to really glorify devotees who are sacrificing. So many devotees are sacrificing for me to be here. Right? For me to take darshan of the deity, so many devotees are sacrificing. Because if not for them, how will I take darshan of these wonderful deities? How will I honor prasadam? It's because of the sacrifice of, for instance, His Grace Shyam Kishore Prabhu. He sacrificed his whole life, and because of that, I'm able to take darshan. If he didn't sacrifice, I can't take darshan. Right? And sacrifice of Prabhu, who traveled all the way from Indianapolis trying to serve here. Right? Sacrificing so many things, and sacrifice of Mataji, sacrifice of Prabhu who's serving prasadam, so many things. So many devotees are sacrificing, right? And there might be mistakes here and there, but a devotee does not, he doesn't exaggerate it, and can freely say Jai, can liberally say Jai, right, in his heart. And the more and more I can say Jai, you're great, this is amazing. Because any person who's sacrificing something for Krishna, he can be sacrificing, he can just be hearing. Someone was asking me yesterday, and it struck me actually, right? If someone is just coming every week to your Bhakti Vriksha, not doing anything, he's not chanting, he's not coming to the temple, he's not doing anything. Simply is coming, hearing, taking prasadam. He's also Jai. Right? He's coming and sacrificing something for Krishna. Someone is sacrificing something for Krishna, and Nityananda Prabhu sees that. And Nityananda Prabhu would consider him as a devotee. This person is a devotee. And he would say, Jai. Right? So, this is the mood of Nityananda Prabhu. And this is the mood of Prabhupada as well. Right? So, to encourage everyone, that everyone can become Krishna conscious. Everyone is actually a devotee. Nitya Siddhi Krishna Prema Sadhya Kabunoy. Everyone is a devotee by nature. It's just waiting to be exploded. It is we are like a time bomb in the making. Right? At one point, the bomb will burst. The bomb of Krishna Prema will burst if I'm ready. If I become a patra to the mercy of Mahaprabhu. If I become a patra, but Mahaprabhu is liberal. Patra vichar nahi sthana sthan. There is no vichar he's doing. But because of my enviousness, he's waiting. So a very important point here. And the next verse, I'll speak more. I wanted to speak more on the pastimes and the mood. So it's 40. Okay. Prabhura Kohiloe Janma Lila Sutra Yashodanandana Yeche Haila Shachiputra. He is appeared as the son of Mother Shachi. Shri Radha Gopi Janavallabha Shri Nitai Patita Pavana Gaura Hari Jai. So he is appeared as the son of Mother Shachi, exactly as Krishna appeared as the son of Mother Yashoda. So the same person, tattvas, there is no difference. But the mood is different. What he wants to give is different. What he wants to do is different. How he sees people is different. But now he's a sannyasi. At that point of time, he's a Kshatriya. And he came as Nanda, different points of time he was, then he was herding the cows, and then he was ruling Dwaraka in a different mood. Ruling Dwaraka, he wanted to administer justice, and then he wanted to do samsthapanaya. And when he was sporting the banks of Yamuna, he was, in Vrindavan, his mood was to give pleasure to devotees. So he's Yashoda Nandana, right? So very few instances where he was Patita Pavana. You can actually see Krishna being Patita Pavan, maybe Nalakuvera, Manigriva, but not with full, and that was because Narada recommended also. Right? So in many instances, he was not Patita Pavan. Draupadi is not Patita. Draupadi Pavana for sure. But Draupadi is more like Sharanagata Pavana. Right? She surrendered, and after surrendered, then Krishna protected. So the first criteria is that one has to surrender now. So who will surrender now? Because Ramanujacharya says in order to surrender, you need to have 3 prerequisites. Where will you go for these prerequisites? I must have complete disgust for this material world. I must have completely realized I'm a part and parcel of Krishna. I must not have any other property other than Krishna. These are the 3 criteria for surrender. How will I have these 3? The first criteria only is going.
Sorry, can you repeat it again?
Yeah, he's saying there are three categories, 3 prerequisites for surrender. If I don't have these prerequisites, I can't surrender. First thing is that I must be completely convinced there is no enjoyment in this material world. This is the first criteria. If I think there is any enjoyment in this material world, there is no question of surrender. Samsara nirvedam. One must be completely indifferent to all enjoyments of this material world. Of course, Mahaprabhu also talks about it. Right? In his many of his pastings, Mahaprabhu wanted to highlight this. Mahaprabhu wanted to highlight different things through different associates. So when Mahaprabhu appeared, all the associates appeared in different parts. So he wanted to stress this principle of renunciation through Raghunath Das Goswami. Right? What it means to be renounced. So Mahaprabhu also talked about it. So Ramanujacharya said this is the first principle. And the second principle is that you must be completely convinced that you are by nature part and parcel of Krishna. Swarupa Jnana. That it is natural for you to serve Krishna. It is not an artificial imposition on mind. Surrender is not something artificial. Surrender is my natural position. Why? Because my nature is that I am a servant. This is my Swarup. Swarup Jnana is important. Just like Prabhupada gives an example of a lathe machine. And there is a part in that lathe machine. That part, the nature of that part is to be united with that lathe machine. If it is disconnected, it doesn't have any purpose. Prabhupada gave another example. The hand doesn't have any purpose if it is not united with this body. Similarly, my Swarup is that I am part and parcel. Part and parcel. Ramanujacharya gives an example. Dandi Purushaha. This is called Prakarya. Dandi Purusha means a person is carrying a dandam always. Right? And he's an old man. And because he's an old man, sometimes when he's a little abled, he's keeping that dandam out. That is a part of him, but it's not a parcel of him. Because he can take the dandi out of some time and he can still travel. So you cannot say it is part and parcel. It is part, you can say. Right? It's not always a parcel. So parcel means something that cannot be separated from the whole at any point of time, in any condition. Whatever you think about yourself, you cannot separate yourself from Krishna. I'm a great sinner, doesn't matter. I'm a first class rascal, doesn't matter. I'm a tribe person. I eat human meat. Then also you are a part and parcel of Krishna. At no point can I do anything to disconnect myself from Krishna. This is the meaning of Achedyoya Madahyoya, Krishna says. So this is Swarupa Jnana. I don't want to go into that too deeply. But the third thing is that I must give up all. He's bringing 2 principles, which is Ananya Gatitvam and Akinchanya. He's telling a devotee must understand that he does not possess anything else other than Krishna. I don't possess anything else other than the lotus feet of Krishna, and I'm not going to depend on any other process to come to the lotus feet of Krishna other than the 2 lotus feet of Krishna. The 2 lotus feet of Krishna is the goal, and I'm not going to employ any process to say, with this process, I'll come to your feet. I will not do that. The 2 lotus feet of Krishna is the only means, and 2 lotus feet of Krishna is the goal. This is what Ramanujacharya summarized basically. But how to come to this platform, how to have so much nishtha, right? How to get this Swarupa Jnana, it's very difficult. One must have rag for that. One must have rati, attraction for Krishna. Right? And also, after that, what is there? That's also there. That's also Ramanujacharya did not completely finish it. Right? What's there? What is the nature of this raga bhakti? That was not his duty. So Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, so though Krishna, I was talking about Krishna. So Krishna, though he came, is Sharanagata Rakshaka, Sharanagata Vatsala, but he cannot say is completely Patidabhavan. That is not his purpose. But Mahaprabhu came, Namo Mahavadanyaya, right? He can give anyone equally, liberally, Mahavadanyaya. And what does he give? He gives Krishna Prema Pradaya. He gives Krishna Prema itself. What a great opportunity to get Krishna Prema. Wow. And what do I have to give? To get Krishna Prema, what should I give? Bhaktivinoda Thakur says in one of his very nice songs, Koda Nithai, very nice song. Right? I don't know if you have heard that song. It's a very nice song. I'll just sing a few lines from that song. he actually says, what should he give? Because this is a marketplace that Nityananda Prabhu's field is distributing this Krishna Prema that Mahaprabhu has brought. And what should he give actually to get this Krishna Prema? Right? So I just sing a few lines from the song, very nice song. Boro suker ka bhor gaay, boro suker ka bhor gaay, surabhi kunjete namer haat khuleche, surabhi kunjete namer haat khuleche, khodanitay, 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 khodanitay. And he's basically saying, I'm going to give you a very happy news. Lord Nityananda himself has opened a marketplace of the holy name. Where has he opened? In Surabhi Kunj. And what does he do? What do you want to get? Tumi kinbe Krishna naam, tumi kinbe Krishna naam, tumi kinbe Krishna naam, tumi kinbe Krishna naam. Dasturi loibo ami purne hobe kama. Dasturi loibo ami purna hoibe kama. Take this Krishna Naam. And Nityananda Prabhu is giving Krishna Naam. If you take Krishna Naam, what happens? Dasturi loibo ami purna hoibe kama. Whatever desire you have, everything will be satisfied. Everything will be satisfied. And what does Nityananda Prabhu see? Ek baar dekh le chakshe jal, ek baar dekh le chakshe jal. Gaura bole nittai den. I'm sorry, I forgot about it. Bodo dayal Nityananda, Bodo dayal Nityananda. Nityananda, Bodo dayal Nityananda. Shraddha matre loyo den Paramananda. Loye den Paramananda. Oh, Shraddha matra loye den Paramananda. Shraddha matra loye de Paramananda. Oh, Shraddha matra loye de Paramananda. Oh, Shraddha matra loye de Paramananda. Oh, Shraddha matra loye de Paramananda. Nityananda Prabhu Bora Dayal is very, very merciful. And he's having the product that Mahaprabhu is coming to give. And what does he want? Shraddha Matra. What is the Shraddha Matra? If I have this Shraddha, I will get, Nityananda Prabhu saying, if I have this Shraddha, what will I get? I'll get Krishna Prema, chapter closed. That's all, nothing more. Mahaprabhu will give me Krishna Prema like that. What is that Shraddha? Where to get this Shraddha now? Right? Where to get this Shraddha now? What is stopping me from having that Shraddha? What is stopping me from having that Shraddha? So I was, Prabhupada is basically saying another purport. I was just Googling in Veda base. What is a Shraddha? Maybe more about Shraddha. So I sang the song during Nityananda Trayodasi and I was thinking, wow, what is a Shraddha? That I'll get what Mahaprabhu is willing to give. That is what he came here for. To show by his example where I'll get greed for this Krishna Prema by seeing his activities. By seeing his activities, by studying the activities of Mahaprabhu. Wow, this is what God means. Because when God comes, I can misunderstand. When God comes, I can misunderstand. But by the activities of a devotee, because I just read about Krishna and Lord Ramachandra, it's very difficult to understand. But by seeing the devotees of Krishna, one can understand, wow, this Krishna must be so great. This Krishna must be so great. Just like, give an example. So just like person is a VP of, say, he's a director of NASA. And this person is filing his papers and saying, I'm going somewhere. Wow, where are you going? What are you working for? What are you going to get? Right? And what are you going to get? Where are you going? What is the company you're going for? Everyone will be curious. Right? He's like the director of NASA. He's reporting to the, the president. Right? So similarly, I really like this verse. I mean, Bilomangal Thakur, this comes, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu quotes this actually, about Bilomangal Thakur. Advaita Viti Patikai Rupasyaha so Ananda Simhasana Lapta Dikshaha Shatena Kenapi Vayam Hatena Dashi Krita Gopi Vadu Vitena. So this Bilomangal Thakur is telling, I was in the monist path, I left everything. Advaita Viti Patikai Upasyaha. Every person who's a monist was worshipping me. I was their Guru Maharaj. Who's saying? Bilomangal Thakur is telling. So Ananda Simhasana Labdha Dikshaha. I left everything, like Jadabharata Maharaj, like, Raghunath Das Goswami, also the same thing. Nityananda Prabhu is quoting, how Chaitanya Prabhu is basically quoting how, like Jadabharata left everything, Raghunath Das Goswami has left everything. Like similarly, he left his family, friends, everything. So Bilomangal Thakur left everything, and so Ananda Simhasana Labdha Diksha, everything this person left. Shatena Kenapi Vayam Hatena, but I have been forcefully turned into a maid servant by some cunning boy. Dashi Krita Gopa Vadu Bitena. Some cunning boy has turned me into a maid servant that I left even that. Wow. Right? You left everything to taste enjoyment in your own self. But even that is someone is forcing you to give. What is that person? Where are you going? What is that objective? Immediately we get attracted, right? What are you enjoying? Tell me. So similarly, when we read this Chaitanya Charitamrita, Bhagavatam, I get attracted by what is this devotee enjoying? What is he enjoying? That attraction, what is he enjoying? Right? That Shraddha comes. So when we read the activities of devotee, when Mahaprabhu himself is coming, how to be a devotee, I get understood. Oh, wow, what is he enjoying? I want to enjoy that. So coming back to the point of Shraddha. So the Shraddha right now has to be somewhere. If I have to understand, like in programming, we have variables. Not a programmer by any means, but whatever I learned in high school. So there are many variables, and these variables are assigned to many things. If a variable already is assigned to something, you can't again assign something. It will give you an error. Right? Similarly, Shraddha has to be there somewhere. Shraddhamayo ayam purusha. The Shraddha has to be there. Because I'm made of Shraddha. Krishna is telling, what am I made of? Shraddha Mayo, Mayat Pratyayam. He's using Mayat Pratyayam means something that is completely you're made of Shraddha. That is where your Mayat Pratyayam is used. Shraddha Mayat. Shraddha Mayo, I am made of Shraddha. So, other way of asking this question is, one way of asking this question is, how to get Shraddha in Nityananda Prabhu? What does he mean by Shraddha? That is one way of asking that question. Other way of seeing the same question is, where else am I having my Shraddha? Right? That is other way of asking this question. Where else am I having this Shraddha that when Nityananda Prabhu is giving this Shraddha to me, there is an error coming in my mind. Error coming, the program is throwing an error, right? Variable not found, already assigned. Right? Already assigned. Now the Shraddha has to be broken now. The Shraddha has to be broken now. So right now, for myself, I'm considering, I think I possess so many things. I possess so many things I think I possess. But in this way, if I become humble and serve devotees, serve the spiritual master here, associate with Bhagavatam, I will actually come to realize that I actually don't possess anything except a bunch of bad qualities. That is my only possession. What do I possess? I don't possess anything, but if there is anything I possess, that is a bunch of huge number of bad qualities I possess. That is my only possession I have. And who's saying like that? Who's thinking like this? Rupa Goswami, Sanatana Goswami. Rupa Goswami, Sanatana Goswami are meeting Mahaprabhu. Right? And when they are, what's the exact place where they meet to Ramkeli, right? Where do they meet?
Yeah, different places.
But first time they meet as Ramkeli. So they are meeting in Ramkeli, and Rupa Goswami, I really like that verse. Where, that is the intelligence of a devotee. Intelligence of a materialist is to think how to get the next material object, how to become more famous, how to speak diplomatically, how to, for a sadhaka like me, how to be more diplomatic in advertising myself as being very humble, being a preacher, knowing shlokas, I'm a great servant. That is how my intelligence is being used. Right? That is the nature of a hardcore materialist. Right? How he can bring glory to himself. That is what I'm meditating on. That's like Shraddha has to be assigned somewhere. Meditation has to be assigned somewhere else. So right now I'm meditating on my own false ego glories. And that's what I'm meditating on constantly. So, but the intelligence of a person who's sincere, a sincere devotee, his intelligence is constantly meditating on how to understand that I am a low-born, I am a useless person, I'm a Nietzsche. Right? Mahaprabhu is telling Guru Mora Murkha Deki Korilo Shasan. I am a Murkha. Chaitanya Prabhu again is placing this emphasis. While he's meeting Prakashananda Saraswati, while he's meeting, what is this? Keshava Kashmiri, he's telling, I'm just a normal boy. I'm simply a, very mischievous boy. I must have said something, to simply say something, please forgive me. Right? Every time Mahaprabhu is stressing on this principle, that whenever he meets someone, again this principle, that I'm actually not very, very well learned. I don't know Vedanta. I'm completely misfit. For everything, I'm a misfit. Again and again stressing this point. So Rupa Goswami is bringing this point. I'd like to read this verse actually. So Rupa Goswami is making this point. Should have noted this down. Forgive me. Yeah. So they are saying, Nicho jati nicho shangi kori nicha kaja tomara agrete prabhu kohite vashilaja. We belong to the lowest class of men, and our employment and our associate are also of the lowest type. Therefore, we cannot introduce ourselves to you. We feel very much ashamed standing here before you. Mattulyo nasti papatma na aparadi cha kashchana parihare api lajjame kimbruve purushottama. Mattulyaha nasti papatma. There is no one more papatma and there is no equal to me. Na aparadhi cha kashchana, nor an offender. Parihare api lajjame. I'm very ashamed of me. Kim Bruve Purushottama, what do I say? But Patita Pavana Hetu Tomar Avatar, Ami Boy Jagate Patita Nahi Ar. You incarnated to deliver the fallen souls. So please, just like you delivered Jagai and Madai, deliver us also. And now they are giving an intellectual reasoning. Why they think they are fallen. Very important point. Intellectual reasoning is important. My intelligence has to be used somewhere. Right? And intelligence of a devotee is used, first of all, in understanding what is correct and what is incorrect. Before I go to even Krishna Prema, I must first understand what is dharma, what is adharma. I must have faith in dharma, religious principles. Mahaprabhu always appreciated that. In case of Gopinath Pattanayaka, in case of Krishna, Kala Krishna Das, in case of Chota Haridas, in many instances we can see Mahaprabhu, even Raghunath Das Goswami is very happy. Wow, you're exactly doing what a Vairagi must do. Very nice. I'm very proud of you. So Mahaprabhu appreciated if someone understood religious principles very nicely. Someone understood religious principles very nicely, Mahaprabhu appreciated it. Simultaneously, Mahaprabhu was very happy if someone broke the religious principles for the sake of devotional service. Like Sarava Bhattacharya was given Jagannath Puri Mahaprasada. Sarava Bhattacharya did not think, oh, I do not take bath, I do not do my Nitya Karma, I do not do Gayatri, I do not do this. Anyway, take it. Mahaprabhu was like, wow, I really like it. Right? So Mahaprabhu was very much attached to religious principles because he wanted to make sure there was social propriety. Because without that, there is confusion. Right? Oh, I'm a devotee. This is Sahajiya. I'm a devotee. Right? I'm chanting Hare Krishna mantra. So I'll chant Kirtan anyway. I'll do anything I want. There is no etiquette. There is no Stri Dharma. There is no Sannyasa Dharma. There is no Purusha Dharma. There is no Brahmachari Dharma. There is no Grihastha Dharma. This will be chaotic. This will be chaotic. Right? So Mahaprabhu externally wanted a devotee to have, to exhibit these symptoms of dharma. but simultaneously not be absorbed in them and consider that is the highest objective. Right? That's not the highest objective, but Mahaprabhu appreciated it. So coming to this point again, and anyway, back to Shraddha last and finish the class. So Rupa Goswami, we can see that he's completely aware. Now he's coming to the point of vritti. What is my maintenance? How am I working? How am I getting my money? How am I getting my money? I am serving Muslim kings. And who are these Muslim kings? And these Muslim kings are actually inimical to the Brahmana dharma. They are inimical to Go dharma, Go seva. They are inimical to everything. And all my money, this whole body, this blood is flowing by serving them. How is this blood flowing? By the money I have earned from them. This is how my blood is flowing. If Rupa Goswami is saying that, what should I say? What should we say? What corporate people? Right? So the more and more one understands actually what is dharma and what is adharma, one will actually feel a strong, one has faith in these things, first of all. We're talking about faith. One has faith in these things. First of all, there is something right, there is something wrong. One who doesn't have faith in dharma, actually, Jiva Goswami is saying, the moolam of Shraddha is Shraddha in Shastra. Jiva Goswami is saying in one of his commentaries, Sarva Sambhadini. He's telling that what does Shraddha mean? The beginning of Shraddha is Shraddha in the words of Shastra. If someone doesn't have strong faith in Shastra, then it is very difficult to have Shraddha. So by having faith in Shastra, what will happen? One will actually understand there is something called dharma, there is something called adharma. And by having faith in the fact that there is something called dharma and adharma, what will happen? I will feel lajja. What am I doing? One will have a strong conviction in the fact that he is fallen. This is the result of faith in Shastra. A jnani's result in faith in Shastra is different. A karmi's faith in Shastra is different. A devotee's faith in Shastra, the result is different. The devotee has faith in Shastra. The goal is that, the conclusion of the faith in Shastra is that, first initial conclusion is that he wants to intellectually understand and be convinced that I am a low-born, I am a useless person. All my activities are of no help and all I possess is a bunch of bad qualities. That is all I possess. I don't possess anything. Everything will be taken away from the time of death. I'm very hard working, I'm working very hard for something that will go away with me, and then Mahaprabhu is coming. In this way, he understands this mix very nicely. That is what we can see in the confession of Rupa Goswami. Saba eka doshatar hoye papachar, papa rashi dahe nama bhashi tomar. Papa is okay, sinful activities are okay, no problem. See? Always understanding that my sin is the best sin. My sin is the most serious sin, actually. That is a better way of saying. My sin is the most, not theoretically, intellectually, internally convinced. Internally convinced that I need so much help. And for me, it was very easy. Really easy, because I don't have to struggle so hard. So, Papa Rashi Dohe Nama Bhashi Tomar. Right? Papa can be worshipped, not a problem. If someone is attached to sinful activities, no problem. Simply by Nama Bhas, it can be overcome, no problem. Tomar Nama Lona Tomara Korile Nindan She Nama Hoile Tara Mukti Rakaran. Right? They blaspheme you, that's fine, but by chanting the holy name, they got delivered. But Jagai Madai Haite Koti Guna Adhama Patita Papi Amijana. I am millions and millions of times worse than Jagai and Mata. Same thing Krishnadas Kaviraj Goswami also said. So we are always mlecha jati, mlecha sevi kari, mlecha karma. Dharma only, they are born in a nice family only. But mlecha jati, mlecha sevi kari, mlecha karma. What am I doing? Mlecha karma. Whom does it apply to? Myself. Mlecha karma, mlecha jati, mlecha sevi, go brahmana drohi. I'm working for General Motors, Ford, Chrysler. What are they? Go Brahmana Drohi. My boss might be seeing this, but sees this. So Go Brahmana Drohi. Right? Go Brahmana Drohi Sanghe Amar Sangam. That is my Sangam. What am I? Every day I'm associating with materialists from 9 o'clock to 6 o'clock, 7 o'clock. This can be my confession during chanting. This is me. I'm introducing myself to Mahaprabhu. I'm meeting Mahaprabhu. This is my intro. This is my what do you say? Cover page, cover letter. Why am I? You write cover letter when you apply. Why am I? Why do I deserve your mercy? This is me, Krishna. This is who I am. I don't possess anything. This is all I possess. But I'm thinking I'm so great. Where will I go? Whom will I go to? Right? Whom will I go to? What hope do I have? If you leave me, what will happen to me? Right? So what is my nature? Where is my hope? See, this is the mood of a devotee actually. By his intelligence, he can come to this understanding that the only thing I possess is the shade of their mercy, is their lotus feet. Everything else, if I come out of this understanding, I'm in a danger zone. It is like a red light on the dashboard. It is like engine check light. Engine check light comes immediately, I'll go to a mechanic. So if this mentality goes away, that I have some shelter other than Sri Guru, other than Sri Nityananda Prabhu. Sometimes, it is possible to become confused. Right? Whom do I worship? There is Panchtattva, there is Sri Narasimhadev, Sri Radharani, Krishna, all these acharyas. But to be making it easy, simply worship Sri Guru. That is sufficient. If one worship Sri Guru, one will worship everyone else. Right? So by worshipping the spiritual master, one worships everyone. If I'm confused, if I'm already clear, I can worship everyone. But if in case I'm confused, then simply worship the instruction of the spiritual master. Simply worship the spiritual master. That will be taking the place of everyone else. So Go Brahmana Drohi Amar Sangam. That is Mora Karma Mora Hoite Galai Bandhiya Kuvishaya Bishtha. So because of all these abominable activities, I am thrown into a ditch. Kuvishaya Bishtha Garte Diyache Felaya. I've been thrown into a ditch which is full of stool. This is my nature. This is my position right now. Now, the more and more, this is the way of breaking my Shraddha now. This is the way of breaking my Shraddha. By hearing, by serving devotees, what is happening? This strong Shraddha in my false great image, it is being powdered. By this admission, honest admission to Krishna, this Shraddha is going away now. Now I hear more, then I chant more. This chanting becomes more tasty now. Because Krishna is able to reach me now. Right? Krishna is able to reach me now through the holy name. And Hare Krishna mantra ruchi becomes great. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. In this day, one does Sri Nama Upasana. One can do Upasana of Sri Nam Prabhu very nicely. This is the platform of Nishtha. When one Shraddha in Sri Nam Prabhu, in Krishna, Mahaprabhu's mercy, Nityananda Prabhu develops more and more and more and more. At one point, I will be hankering, Nityananda Prabhu, please give me. I have come here to give myself. Give me. And when Nityananda Prabhu sees that eagerness, this person wants to give everything that he has to me. And how can I give? Only by love. Right? This raga is there, only I can give. So this more and more and more and more one does Sri Nam Upasana, Sri Nam Prabhu. I really worship Nam Prabhu. I worship Krishna in the form of his holy name. This is what Mahaprabhu came to give. This is the reason he appeared. One of the reasons that is relevant to us right now. There are so many things he came for. I mean, I thought I shouldn't say it relevant to us. I'm sorry. It is relevant to me right now. So, many things that he came to give, and I definitely understand more and more and more. One and become more and more mature. That is internal mood, his internal position, the confidential ragamar. What is meant by raganuga sadhana? What is meant by vaidhi sadhana? All that I'll understand more and more and more once I start doing these basic things. So this is the mood. This is the way of breaking the Shraddha and getting the Shraddha by which Shri Guru, who is a representative of Nityananda Prabhu, can say, take this prema. Take this prema. So it's important actually as devotees, for myself I'm saying, to believe in dharma, to believe in what Shastra is saying, to be a fit disciple in this parampara. I'm telling this for myself, that I follow these principles nicely and simultaneously be a good example so that I can genuinely cry for this mercy. So I had something more to say, but I think it's already late. So I'll stop here. Any questions or comments? Or if I said something more than my adhikar allows, please forgive me. Or if someone has any corrections, please feel free to add. Okay.
Anyone has any question?
Hare Krishna devotees, if anyone has any question, you can please ask Jayasachinandana Prabhu.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji, Dandavat Pranam, Jai Shri Prabhupada. Thank you so much, Prabhuji. Amazing class. Thank you. Prabhuji, I have a question here. We have seen this across many devotees, many such exalted devotees. Out of their humility, they use this word, I am a low-born. And for sure, in philosophy, birth has nothing to do with that, right? Exactly. Why do they have to say that, Prabhuji? Is there any particular significant reason for that? I'm a low-born like that.
As every time, Prabhu, I'm getting, every time in every class, I get inspired by a mood of always being in a mood of a disciple in any situation. So I pray that I get that mood sometimes. So please bless me that in every class, every discussion, any lecture, I can always consider that I have so much to learn. I can come into that mood. Please bless me that I can feel that way. So I'm like very inspired always by your mood. So I'll answer that for my own purification. So there are two ways of telling this. One to a newcomer, another is to a devotee. To newcomer, I have to say, whoever you are, whatever you are, you can do Krishna consciousness. Right? That is what I want to tell a newcomer. Any person, you can, no problem. You're playing, this, you're playing football, you're smoking, you're eating meat, whatever you're, understand. Another way is to come into a zone of reality where all these things really matter. It says something about me. Wherever I'm born, what I think, the desires I have, what I'm attached to, my momentum of thinking, my inclinations, my biases, all these have something to do with me. The ashram I am in, they have something to do with who I am. Right? If I'm not a sannyasi, I'm not the same as a person who's a sannyasi. If I am a stree, it's not the same as a purusha. If I'm a brahmana, it's not the same. So in this way, to be brutally honest, without being without what they say politically correct, one is higher than the other. But in the case of a devotee, like the acharyas, they appear in certain places for the sake of pastimes. Right? For the sake of pastimes, they appear in order to demonstrate the fact that anyone can come to this point of devotional service. One. And second thing is to understand, to show the liberality of Mahaprabhu. Who's Mahaprabhu? Right? So no one can say, the caste Goswamis cannot say Mahaprabhu just ate in the house of Brahmanas. No. Of course, he did this as an example, maybe, but he, he showed example through Advaita Acharya. He showed his example, by dining with so many devotees. So in this way, we can see the practical example of Mahaprabhu, how he associated with all devotees. He did not see any difference, right? So that is there. So to show that example. But for my own sadhana, my own progress, I should think that the family I am born in has a difference. Like I saw one devotee, his name is actually one of the book distributors with Parameshwar Prabhu, one of the disciples of Radhanath Maharaj, like a towering book distributor, and many of you might know. Amazing devotee, amazing, very simple. He actually goes to Walmart. He takes bath in Walmart only. Walmart, parking lots, and he just carries fruits and nuts with him. He simply lives like that. He takes some 3 gallons of water, distributes books every whole day, and goes from one place to another place. That's all he does. He lives off a van, and he lives off nuts, dry fruits, and he takes bath in cold gallons of water he buys in the parking lots of Walmart. He distributes books, and that's all he does. This is Parameshwar Prabhu. And how long has he been doing? He's a brahmachari. Been doing for 20, 30 years. Every day. Wow. Amazing. Amazing devotee. Very simple-minded. Very simple-minded. Strong conviction in Srila Prabhupada's books. Amazing. Amazing. Amazing devotee. So, Satya Prabhu was telling me about Parameshwar Prabhu. Satya Prabhu had a chance to associate with Parameshwar Prabhu. He went for like 4 or 5 days with Parameshwar Prabhu. So he was telling me his glories. So anyway, so I was telling this Parameshwar Prabhu's one of his devotees. I mean, one of his, other whoever was traveling with him. I met, in Orlando back in 7, 8 years back, and Prabhu was telling me, his name is Brajananda Prabhu. So Prabhu was telling me, that I'm actually from Mlecha family. Right? He's an American body devotee. But it's like thinking, I'm from Mlecha body devotee. I'm a Mlecha body devotee. I'm a Mlecha. You're all great devotees because you're from India. Right? You are born a devotee. I'm a Mlecha. Wow. Right? He's doing book distribution every day, in and out. Right? But how is he thinking? I'm thinking I'm a Mlecha. That is true. But see how his intelligence is working, just like what I was saying before. His intelligence is carefully analyzing something that is actually Shastric wise true, and coming to the point of the fact, concluding how he is low. Right? So this is intelligence of a devotee. So that is true actually. Haridas Thakur also says the same thing. Right? I'm not even fit to come here. Right? With Mahaprabhu. He's saying, I'm not even fit to come here because I'm born in a low family. I'm born in a Muslim family. Right? So in this way, we can see in Chaitanya Charitamrita, every place, how a person always considers himself to be unfit by virtue of his jati. Because this is true actually. If one is born in a certain family, he's more pious than another person who's not born in a certain. This is true actually. There is no beating around that bush. If someone is born a certain caste, not caste in a sense, certain family is better. Someone is born in a pious family, he's definitely has had a pious past. If someone born in a meat-eating family, definitely, of course, except in very exceptional examples. Right? Of course, one should not apply that for others. One should apply it to one's own self. Right? That is the intelligence of a devotee again. He's introverted, not extroverted. Right? The smartas appear the same truth to others, and in this way they cause offense. They commit offense. Right? And they're not able to see it for themselves. So that is the difference between the intelligence of a person. I mean, not every smarta, but I'm just saying mostly, it's possible. So I hope that answered your question. If not, please forgive me. That's all mine. That's the way I understand.
That helps me. Thank you so much, Prabhuji.
I feel I can come to that stage. You're all on that stage. See, right now also you're using your intelligence to understand how do I ask a question right now, so that I can keep my swabhava of humility. So all of you are already.
Do you have one question?
Yeah.
So, like you see, like practically you're always ecstatic, always intense, and always chanting the holy name. Like
Who?
never you.
Huh?
You. So
I think you're thinking about.
the thing is, there's never a time I've seen you kind of depressed or kind of low. Never been a time like that. So
Because I'm never coming to the temple.
so the thing is that how to attain that kind of thing, because naturally I'm subject to the modes of nature, and naturally mostly 99.9% always very low. I mean, low means like spiritually, this spiritual energy, nothing much. So, and on top of that, I have so much pride that's happened. So, what is my condition? Shameless condition, right? So please help me. Shameless condition.
Wow.
Please, no, I'm serious, bro. Please.
You are my inspiration, Prabhu.
No.
I was actually, meditating on the fortune of the fact that I have your association, devotees like you, how I take them very cheaply. That's what I was actually thinking just before the class, right? Like, I mean, fortunately, by somehow Krishna's mercy made me realize something. I'm not a person who thinks like that, but somehow by their mercy, I was able to appreciate association of all the devotees, right? So, how without all of your association, right? I take it so cheaply that, to associate with a person who loves Krishna. Wow. To see them, to dine with them, to honor prasadam with them, who loves Krishna, actually underestimating it. So you're all very great. And if you see something good in me, that's because, as I said, I don't show up in the temple at all. Right? If I if I come to the temple every day for 2-3 hours, and if you say the same thing, you might be right. But I am like a visitor who's always attached to Geharati. So I'm absorbed. So anyway, so I pray that, and I take all of your association seriously. That's all I can say.
So yeah, what is the answer to the question?
As I said, I mean, like, you don't even, I'm not qualified, because qualified in the real sense, because I'm not tasting what you're saying. So, and the only thing I know of how to make any improvement in a generic way is whatever I just shared. That's all I know, in the sense how to do anything, to cry, and and you're already on that stage. So very
follow-up question, bro. That it's a duty of everyone. How to not depend on anything or anyone except Guru and Krishna? Like how to make the transition? Of course, we know like Father Puri, and they practice like Jayasachinandana or Bhagavatam, whatever you call it. And that's like a very high stage. But then in between, how can we take more shelter of Guru and Krishna, depend less on the mind, less on others, less on anything external? What can I do to actually depend more?
I'm myself depending on this. I'm saying to give answers to because you're practically far better than. If I say anything, when you ask this question only, I'm thinking I'm depending on money, my 401k, my bank account. So what can I say about Ajagara Vritti and high things? I mean, theoretically, I can say something. So what's the point of? But yeah.
No, Prabhuji, like you can speak from Shastra, you can speak your associate, your devotees. What would you say?
I mean, for myself, I have seen association with other people who are attached to other things other than Guru and Krishna makes me fall down. So if I want to be exclusively attached to Guru and Krishna, then I power myself to read literatures in that category and listen to devotees who are having that bhav, and take their shelter, cry to them during chanting. And this way, consider myself a loner, consider myself that I'm an orphan. And I'm an orphan, I don't have anyone. So when I convey these feelings in private to my whoever I'm depending, that will gradually invite their mercy. I mean, that's the way I understand. But I'm nowhere close to that. So, but yeah, theoretically speaking, association and so Sangha is important actually. Narada Bhakti Sutra says how Sangha, Narada says so many things in Narada Bhakti Sutra, but the central point of Narada Bhakti Sutra is actually saying one must give up bad association by all means. Right? And he's telling by bad association one actually spoils everything actually. So this is the means of achievement. So he's basically saying sadhanani, tasyaha sadhanani gayanti acharya. So how to get that, So it's basically defining this. So who can cross beyond this? So he's telling tasmin tajjane bheda bhavat. Only by you can understand labhyate api tat kripayaiva. Only by the association of devotees. Mahat sangastu durlabha agamyo amogasta. Only by mahat sangam you will get that. Mukhyatastu mahat kripayaiva bhagavat kripa lesha. So though there are so many means of achieving that, whatever we are saying, depending only on Krishna. This is raga, like this is raga basically, that I want only Krishna. Different ways of saying the same raga. It's the same rag, but this raga manifests in different ways. That I want only you, that I'll die without you, that everything else is indifferent to me. It's the same, this thing. But how do I get that? Narada Bhakti Sutra says, Mukhyatastu mahat kripayaiva bhagavat kripa leshatuva. So Mukhyataha, though there are so many ways, though this Bhagavad Guna Shravana Kirtanat, everything is there. Avyavarta Bhajanat, you have to do Ananya Bhajan. All these things are there. But Mukhyataha tu Mahat Kripayaiva Bhagavat Kripa Leshati. But Mukhyataha, what is the Mukhyataha? What is the predominant thing? Mahat Kripayaiva. So by the Kripa of the Mahats. Mahat Sangas to Durlabha, but Mahat Sanga is very Durlabha. Agamyaha, Amoghasta, it will never fail. One can never say I took the Mahat association of a Mahat and it failed. Amoghasta. In this way he is telling. So in that association also labhyate api tat kripayaiva. And that association of devotee also you get mercy by the mercy of Krishna only. So the same thing we say.
Yeah. I believe all my deity worship, all my service to deities is success. I mean, as some use now because of your getting the chance to hear from you.
No.
That's the only goal of my deity worship is to get Mahat Sangha. That's all.
I'm not, but Mahat, but this I really like. Because Narada Bhakti Sutra, Narada Muni ultimately motivates everyone by saying, Tadeva sadhyatam, Tadeva sadhyatam. That's what he says. He says, just take an effort for that only. Tadeva sadhyatam, dussangam sarvataiva tyajyaha. And after he says that, he's saying, dussangam. Why? Kama krodha moha smriti bhramsha buddhi nasha sarvanasha karanatvat. Because of the karanatvat, why it can produce kama, krodham, everything, all the garbage, it will come. Just like if there is a wind, it will bring all the garbage to your door. Similarly, this association, kama, krodha, moha, smriti, bhramsha, buddhi, nasha, sarva nasha, karanatvat, one has to give up. So in this way, kastarati mayam yaha. Who crosses maya? Who crosses maya? Sangam tajati yo mahanubhavam sevate nirmamam. This basically he combines both these things and says, one who gives this bad association, one who takes the Mahatsa Kripayaiva, then this is what Narada Muni says in the 3rd chapter, where he nested Tasya Sadhanani, how to achieve this. Bhakti is basically saying that. Yeah, this is whatever I theoretically I understand.
Amazing, bro. Every time you give class, I put some.
That is your simplicity, brother.
And embarrassed also. This is very good for me.
You are very kind. But I sincerely pray to all the devotees that please bless me with humility so that I take all of your association very sincerely. I take all of your association not cheaply. And by the time I will be gone, that will be too late. So please forgive me if I committed offenses to any devotees. Hare Krishna.
His Grace Jayasachinandana Krishna Prabhu ki
Jai.
Thank you very much, Professor. Hare Krishna.
Thank you, Prabhuji. Hare Krishna.